Why did artists use real nude models? The answer begins with one simple fact: the human body is far more complex than imagination alone. Muscles shift under skin, light moves across flesh, posture changes emotion, and every small detail affects how a figure feels on canvas or in sculpture. For centuries, artists realized that if they wanted to capture the body truthfully, they needed to observe real human beings directly. In the earliest periods of Western art, many figures were stylized rather than anatomically accurate. Bodies followed symbolic traditions more than realistic observation. But during the Renaissance, artists became obsessed with understanding anatomy, proportion, and movement. Painters and sculptors wanted the body to feel alive. This transformation changed art forever. Artists like Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo studied the human body intensely, sometimes even dissecting corpses in secret to understand muscles and skeletal structure beneath the skin. But anatomy books alone were not enough. To paint living movement, artists needed living models. The nude model became essential because clothing hides structure. Fabric changes the silhouette of the body and conceals how muscles stretch, relax, and balance themselves. By observing nude models directly, artists could study weight distribution, natural posture, skin texture, and the subtle tension that makes a figure believable. But nude models were not only used for realism. They also helped artists explore emotion. A slight curve of the spine could suggest vulnerability. A raised arm could create strength or drama. The body became a language capable of expressing psychology without words. In classical academies, drawing from nude models became one of the foundations of artistic training. Students spent years sketching the human figure repeatedly, learning proportion, perspective, and anatomical rhythm. Mastering the nude was considered proof of technical skill. The body was treated almost like architecture, something structured, balanced, and mathematically complex. Yet society's relationship with nude models was often deeply contradictory. While artists respected figure study as serious education, public attitudes toward nudity were frequently shaped by religion, morality, and social anxiety. Models themselves sometimes occupied uncomfortable positions in society. They were necessary for art, yet not always socially respected. For female models especially, posing nude could carry stigma and risk. Many came from poor backgrounds and worked under difficult conditions. Despite this, countless masterpieces throughout history depended on their presence. Behind many famous paintings stood anonymous individuals whose bodies shaped the visual language of art itself. Artists also used real models because imagination alone tends to repeat stereotypes. Direct observation forces artists to confront individuality. No two bodies are identical. Real bodies contain asymmetry, imperfection, softness, tension, scars, and subtle variations that give art emotional depth. As modern art evolved, the role of the nude model changed again. Some artists moved away from ideal beauty and became interested in ordinary bodies, aging bodies, vulnerable bodies, or psychologically expressive poses. The nude was no longer just about perfection, it became about honesty. Photography later transformed this process further. Artists could freeze movement and study anatomy through images rather than live sessions alone. But even today, many painters and sculptors still prefer working with live models because photographs flatten reality. A living person contains movement, atmosphere, and physical presence that cameras cannot fully capture. At its core, the use of nude models was never only about nudity. It was about observation, about learning how the body carries emotion, weight, identity, and life itself. Because for artists, the human body was never just an object to copy. It was the most difficult and most revealing subject art had ever known.